Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I'm the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And today we have a real quick video. I'm going to show you how I created this rainbow brushstroke look on my Tumbler today. I was super inspired by Ann Upton Art's recent TikTok and Instagram reel of her painting this armoire with this beautiful rainbow brushstroke technique. And while I'm nowhere near as talented as Ann, I'm going to do my best to try and recreate that look because I was just so inspired. I'm going to have all the products that you see in this video listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for either as well. That's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so first things first, I'm going to pick out all the paint colors that I'll be using today. If you want to pause to read each of the colors that I used, if you're following along, you can definitely do that because it's quite a bit of colors. These are all from the ARTEZA 60 color premium acrylic set. I absolutely love these acrylic paints for painting on my tumblers with designs like this because the color is so pigmented and vibrant and you don't need that many coats like you would with kind of a lesser craft acrylic. I'm just going to put dime size amounts of paint onto my paper plate here. And I've got some water. You want to have a water cup for dark paint and you want to have a water cup for light paint if you're using these same acrylic paints because they're so pigmented they will keep your brushes that same color once they've been sitting in the water. Anyway, 2 cups works best. All right, so after I get all of my colors laid out, I've got a fully prepped and sanded cup here that I've already spray painted a flat white. The reason you want to do the flat white is because your paints are going to adhere better to that flat spray paint and it's going to look more vibrant against the white base color than if we were to paint just on the raw stainless steel. If you need help with how to prep your tumblers, I'll have a video linked down below in the description box. That'll help you out. I'm using just kid craft paint brushes today. These are Uli brand. I also like the Crayola brand brushes. They're fairly inexpensive and they actually work really well. So I'm just sticking with the kids paint brushes today. I want to make sure that my brush is a little bit moist before we dip into our paint colors here. And don't be afraid to mix up the colors, get those desired shades that you're wanting. Right now, I'm more so laying down a rough draft of my color placement. This isn't how it's going to be looking in the end. I really just kind of want to get a feel for the design and how I want to lay my colors out. Next, I'm going to move on to my lightest colors, and remember that this really is kind of more of a base coat or a rough draft, if you will, and you'll notice a lot of randomness to the sizing and placement of my brush strokes. You really got to let go of your perfectionism on this one and kind of let the paints talk to you and kind of get a feel for how things are going to balance out well on the cup. And the more you go on with it, the more you'll know what I'm talking about. This is definitely a trust the process kind of project, but once you get in there, just have a little confidence, do your best, and let go of extra straight lines or let go of everything being absolutely perfect and just enjoy the experience. I just zoned out and kind of did my thing. I forgot to mention too that you want to have your heat gun out to try and dry some of the color sections before moving on to really contrasting color sections to avoid some of this stuff getting really muddled. Like if you want to blend between the color sections in a way that would look good, then yes, blend those colors while the paint is wet. However, if we're going from like a green to red, or you're wanting to really layer something over the other, grab your heat gun and just dry that section really quickly. Once I got to the point where the whole cup was covered with brush strokes, I let the cup dry for about 30 minutes and came back to kind of clean things up. I added a little more color gradients and more blending, clean things up where it might have looked a little muddled and so forth. You definitely want to be patient with this process because that second coat was really crucial. That's when this really started to look a lot better, and I couldn't have done this while the cup was still wet, obviously, with that first coat. So be patient. It also helped to kind of walk away from it and come back with a fresh set of eyes because I think I had been looking at it for way too long. So that was helpful. Once that second coat of paint was dry, I was ready to add in my gold foil details. I'm going to be using the gold transfer sheets from Southern Belle Glitter. I'll have a link down below on where you can find these. And I'm using Eileen's Tack It Over and Over glue to apply it. So I'm just going to use a very little bit of the Tack It glue. I've not diluted it at all. And I want to kind of blot my brush on a paper towel before I go after applying the glue. I want a little bit of a dry brush kind of look. I don't want a solid line of the gold. You can make these glue lines as solid or as textured as you want. I just personally kind of wanted a more rustic look to my gold. After I applied my brush strokes of glue, I just dried it with my heat gun to help speed things along. You want to dry it until it's completely clear. And then we'll apply our foil transfer sheets. So to apply these, you'll just apply them with the dull side down against the cup and then rub firmly over the shiny side with your hands. And you really want to press that down firmly and then you'll lift up. It is so easy to do, and you guys, these foil transfers are so much fun. I am just absolutely obsessed. I want to add them to every cup that I do because they're so much fun. All right, and then once I got done with my foil transfers, I'm going to take it a step further and color in some spots with my ARTEZA acrylic markers. I absolutely love using these markers to clean up projects like this and just add a little detail and edge to my design. I'm just going to color in any parts that might look muddled or weird, or I might want to like sharpen the edge on them. And this just added the extra little vibrancy to my cup that it really needed. Next, we're going to be applying our first coat of epoxy. You'll notice that we don't need to seal the paint. We do not need to seal the foils or the adhesive or anything. We can just go right over this. I've got 20 milliliters already mixed of Alumilite's Amazing Quick Coat. This is a fast setting epoxy. So I will be ready to move on to the next step in about 4 hours. Once that's dry, I'm ready to move on to my sanding. I'm going to use my regular sanding routine on this just to sand the top rim with a 60 grit sanding block. We want to expose a fine line of stainless steel here. This is where our final coats of epoxy will adhere to create the seal for our tumbler on the outer rim rather than the very top rim where it's more vulnerable. Once I'm done sanding, I'm going to clean this off with some dish soap and water, and we're ready for decals. Since there's so much going on with this tumbler, I wanted to do just a very simple decal. So I created this Creativity Takes Courage decal. This is a design that I created for my members in the Flynn Sisters exclusives group. And I just cut this with regular white or Cal 651 vinyl. And I'm going to use a little bit of the overhang with my transfer tape to anchor my decal while I measure. And then I'll apply it like I normally would using the hinge method. Now that that decal's been applied, I'm ready for my final coat of epoxy. For my final coat, I'm using Alumilite's Amazing Clear Cast Plus. This epoxy has an enhanced UV protection in it, so it'll keep all these colors bright and vibrant for a very long time. This final coat is just 20 milliliters of epoxy. I don't think I used all of it, all right? And I'm gonna apply it like I normally would. I actually ended up having to do 2 final coats on this one before it was totally smooth, but I just love how it turned out. So I told you guys, a really quick video. This one was really simple and easy to put together, but the colors and the design have such a big impact. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and if you liked my video, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.